How's it going, guys? Quick video going over my trades today. Went 4 for 6. It was it was a tough day to trade. Will not lie, a lot of chop, but we were able to find some setups elsewhere. One setup that I took was on this Oxy. I played this. It was showing a lot of strength relative to the market, and it had this nice rounding bottom. So I played this as a cup and handle. Pretty much my entry was right at my stop loss. So I had this entry at around 69. This pre-market low was acting as, you could see, it was acting as resistance, turn support. Pretty much entered right on this candle and had my stop loss below 69. Once we got this downtrend break, it was looking really good. And then I ended up selling half once we were at this pre-market high resistance area. You could see this was from yesterday as well. And then once this knifed right here, I pretty much got out the rest off of that tweezer top. So got about 20 to 30% on this. I'm eyeing this setup tomorrow. I'm going to make another video going over my setups for tomorrow. But this was a good trade for me. It was a really great setup, especially we started making these higher lows right here. So I had a lot of conviction with this coming off this rounding bottom. Switching over to Apple, made a pretty stupid trade on Apple today. This is one of my losses. Looking back on it, I don't see any reason why I was taking it. I was just trying to force something out of nothing. I tried going long right here in this demand zone, but with none of these candles really showing any sort of reversal, you can see a lot of wicks right here, right at around 730. Had a lot of wicks. Nothing was really looking like it was pointing towards we were going to break out north. I wanted a trend line break, ended up not getting it, and we knifed right down, broke below my stop loss, and I exited. So that was just trying to force something. Usually, what I'll do is I'll wait for a breakout of this trend line and grab that retest. So, SOFI, I played this in the morning. This was a red trade to begin with, turn it up, green trade. Actually, I've still my entries on here. So I had this level of 6.14 marked earlier. It was a level from way back. So I entered at the open, and once we've had this pop on this big green candle, I actually entered way too early. But I only entered 50% just because I don't like entering full positions right at the open. So we ended up getting most of the rest of our entry at around 6.28, 6.27, and that was when we were rejecting this supply zone. So this supply zone I had from yesterday, you can see it was a big consolidation zone, and it turned resistance. We rejected really hard with this candle, so that gave me a lot more conviction, and I pretty much rode this down to back of low day. So we got, I think, around 15% on that, just because this first set of cons that I entered on were pretty red. Took 3 trades with SPY today. It was definitely a difficult day. There was a lot of chop during midday to avoid. The first trade that I took was a really dumb one that I got to stop doing, and I was trying to time a reversal. I was trying to make a falling wedge right here. You can see we are kind of making these lower lows and these lower highs, but it was really, we were just going down. We were making lower lows and just continuing to make lower lows. Tried time and reversal, ended up just getting stopped out pretty much right after I entered, because I think I entered around 7:05 on this wick, and then next candle, boom. So that was the red trade for SPY. Got 2 green ones out of it. I was pretty happy with how I traded SPY today. Definitely left a lot on the table, but I think I made a couple of good decisions. We had this tweezer bottom down at 414.3. And once I saw this tweezer bottom, I was like, all right, we're going to chop around. We saw this similar setup that we had on Friday, where we had a nice reversal, and we pretty much chopped around until we got to the 50% fib level. So I was expecting some sort of 50% fib retracement. So what I did first is I drew my fibs from here to the bottom of the day, which you can see we rejected the fib almost perfectly. And for me to get a good entry on this, I was looking at another fib. So I grabbed this from low to high, and I entered this one off of the 3-minute, but this is a kind of a complicated trade. You can see what I was thinking here. We have the supply zone. So we broke below, we then retested, and this is now acting as support. So I entered, this candle was falling quick, but I was like, you know what, this was a nice tweezer bottom. I think we're going to reverse here. I got in at the 61.8 fib level that I drew from these recent highs and recent lows, and pretty much rode this one up until this was a quick scalp. And all I did was ride this up into this high right here. We were rejecting this 415.5 area quite a bit. We were just kind of chopping around. Theta was getting killed, so I exited. Second trade that I made, I was very happy with this trade, but I left a lot on the table. I wasn't expecting us to break down like we did, and that is because of yesterday's action where we pretty much broke down and then spiked right back up. So I was very timid with playing puts here because I didn't want to get caught on that hard reversal, which is why I missed out on all of this move, which is, looking back, I could have at least taken a smaller position because we did have a perfect retest on this candle at 1025 of this low of day support. But anyways, once I noticed that we had a high, a lower high, I was looking at these and we had a knife. I was like, okay, we're going to get that third knife right here on this lower high. So I entered almost, I think I might have top tipped this, not even going to lie, right at the trend line. My stop loss was anywhere above, so I was entering right at my stop loss. And then I rode these down to low of day. And I think I sold on this 1010 candle once we had on this wick down here, right at this low of day support. So definitely left a lot on the table, but looking back from Friday's action, I'm not that disappointed in where my exit was. So that's it for me. Traded Oxy, Apple, SOFI, and SPY. I'm going to make another video going over my setups for tomorrow, and hope you guys were able to learn a little something from this, and hope you guys had a good day yourself.